I am Ecgwynn, once Queen of England and the first wife of King Edward the Elder. My story begins at a time when the kingdom was still fragile, in the years following the death of my father-in-law, the great King Alfred the Great. My marriage to Edward was as much a political alliance as it was a personal union, though my role and actions are rarely recorded with fairness by the chroniclers of our time. I come from a noble family, though my exact lineage is obscured by the shadows of history. Some say I came from a modest lineage compared to Edward's, but this never prevented me from fulfilling my duties as a royal wife and mother. My life with Edward was marked by periods of peace and turbulence as he consolidated his authority over the various kingdoms of England. Despite constant struggles, 2 children were born of our union, my son, Æthelstan, and my daughter, Ealdgyth. Æthelstan, my eldest, was a remarkable boy. From an early age, he displayed qualities befitting a great ruler. I remember his keen intellect and insatiable curiosity about the affairs of the kingdom. He learned to read and studied laws and the Holy Scriptures diligently, under the supervision of priests and advisors chosen by his father. However, when Edward chose to remarry, my role in Æthelstan's life became more complex. Æthelstan was raised at the court of his aunt, Æthelflaed, the Lady of the Mercians, which allowed him to be prepared for the arts of governance and war. Though far from me, I knew he was in good hands. My daughter, Ealdgyth, was just as precious. Unlike Æthelstan, she lived primarily under my care, and I strove to teach her the values of piety, resilience, and grace that befitted a young noblewoman. Ealdgyth was gentle but determined, and she possessed wisdom beyond her years. I wished for her a happy and fulfilling union, though marriages in our time were often matters of alliance rather than love. Edward and I did not have a happy ending together. Our union was declared invalid by the church, perhaps for political reasons or because my lineage was deemed insufficiently noble. My title of queen was stripped from me, and Edward remarried Æthelflaed, a woman from a more influential family. Though I was relegated to a less visible role, I retained my dignity and looked after my children's future. During these years, I observed my son's exploits from afar. Æthelstan eventually became king, succeeding his father in 924, and he quickly established himself as one of the greatest monarchs of England. I could only be proud of him, though I regretted not sharing more moments with him during his youth. He unified the kingdoms of England, establishing a unity that would endure far beyond his reign. As for me, I remained a silent figure of this tumultuous era, a witness to the triumphs and tragedies of my family. My love for my children never wavered, and though my role in history has been largely erased, I know I played an essential part in laying the foundations for Æthelstan's reign. My life, though marked by losses and sacrifices, was rooted in the hope of seeing my children thrive in a world we helped to shape.